Today, we're going to dig into something that's, well, a little bit of a mind bender. It's a teaching from a really important Buddhist text, the Diamond Sutra. And it's a lesson that basically challenges everything we think we know about reality, about what's valuable and what's actually real. So let's just jump right in.
First off, let me ask you something. When I say the word Buddha, or enlightened being, what image pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably a statue, right? Serene, with perfect features, maybe even a golden glow. We all have these pictures in our minds of what spiritual perfection is supposed to look like. Go ahead and hold that image in your mind because we are about to completely flip it on its head. Okay, so at the absolute heart of our explainer today is this one single, incredibly powerful verse. It translates to, "If you see me through form or seek me through sound, you are on a wrong path and cannot see the Tathāgata." Now, Tathāgata, by the way, is just another name for the Buddha. So think about that. The Buddha himself is saying that if you try to find him using your eyes or your ears, through his physical appearance, you're completely missing the point. That's a pretty radical thing to say, isn't it? So how do we even start to unpack that? Well, to really get it, we're going to look at a key conversation from the sutra. It's kind of like a Socratic dialogue, where the teacher doesn't just hand you the answer, but asks questions to lead you to the truth yourself. And in this case, the Buddha asks a seemingly simple question to lead one of his smartest disciples, a guy named Subhūti, to a huge realization. So the Buddha kicks things off with this question. Now, you're probably wondering, what on earth are these 32 marks? Well, in ancient Indian tradition, they were the literal physical signs of a great being. We're talking long earlobes, a little bump on the head for wisdom, even wheel patterns on the soles of his feet. To anyone listening back then, this question would have seemed like a total softball. It's like asking, is the sky blue? Of course, you can recognize a great being by the signs of a great being. And that's exactly how Subhūti answers. He's like, yes, absolutely. And his logic, based on everything he knew, was perfect. The commentaries say he was thinking, just like when you see smoke coming from behind a mountain, there's a fire. You see these 32 perfect marks, you're looking at a Buddha. It's just a simple, logical conclusion. But you know where this is going, right? With the Buddha, it is never that simple. He is about to pull the rug right out from under that very logical, very common sense assumption. And the way he does it is just brilliant. He introduces another character, a fascinating figure from ancient Indian thought, to basically test the theory. He brings up the idea of a perfect, world-ruling king. This figure is called a Chakravartin. Just think of a Chakravartin as the ultimate ideal ruler. A king so just and powerful he unites the whole world and brings an age of peace. A truly great person in a worldly sense. Okay, you got it? Good. Because here's the absolute kicker. The Buddha just drops this logical bomb on him. He points out that, according to their own traditions, this perfect king, the Chakravartin, is also born with the exact same 32 marks. So he turns to Subhūti and basically says, okay, if you're so sure that anyone with these marks is a Buddha, does that mean this king is a Buddha too? And just like that, the whole see the marks, see the Buddha argument completely falls apart. And this just lays it out so clearly. On the outside, their physical form, the Buddha and the king look identical. They both have that perfect body. But their essential nature, what they are, could not be more different. One is an enlightened being who has gone beyond the world, and the other is the absolute peak of worldly success. Same package, completely different contents. And you can almost see the light bulb go on over Subhuti's head. He gets it, instantly. He completely reverses his position and says, okay, now I understand. You should not try to see the Tathāgata through the 32 marks. The puzzle is solved. True reality, true enlightenment. It can't be judged by what's on the outside, no matter how perfect it seems. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's a cool philosophical story. But what's amazing is that this isn't just some abstract idea. About 1,000 years later, this exact principle gets put to the test in a super dramatic, real-world showdown between a powerful emperor and a mysterious monk. All right, so quick history check to set the scene. By the year 527, when this Indian monk named Bodhidharma shows up in China, Buddhism was already a huge deal there. It was well established, with temples everywhere and powerful people supporting it. And the most powerful patron of them all was the Emperor Wu. And I mean, this guy was legendary. They literally called him the Buddha Heart Emperor. He had built tons of temples. He'd paid for thousands of people to become monks and nuns. The man had a very long and very impressive resume of good, tangible, visible things he had done for Buddhism.
So you can picture the scene, right? The emperor meets this famous monk from India, proudly lists off all his amazing accomplishments, and then asks a question that he thinks has a really obvious answer. So I've done all this, built all these temples, supported all these monks. Tell me, how much merit have I stored up? He's basically asking to see his spiritual bank statement.
And Bodhidharma's reply, it's one of the most famous and shocking lines in all of Zen history. He just looks at the most powerful man in China, doesn't even hesitate, and says, none whatsoever. Absolutely zero. Can you imagine the silence in that room?
So why? Why is such a brutal answer? Was Bodhidharma just being a jerk? No, not at all. He was teaching the emperor the exact same lesson that the Buddha taught Subhūti. It's all about the difference between what has form and what is formless. Here's the key. Emperor Wu was talking about worldly merit. Think of it like points in a game. You do a good deed, you get a point. You can count them, you can measure them, they're tied to actions and expecting a reward. But Bodhidharma was pointing to true merit, and that's something else entirely. It's formless, it's the wisdom that comes from enlightenment itself, it's something you can't measure, can't count, and can't earn like points.
And this brings us right back to where we started, full circle. The emperor was trying to see merit through its form, through the shape of his temples, the number of his monks. He was on the wrong path. Just like someone trying to see the real Buddha just by looking at the shape of his body. Both stories are teaching the exact same lesson. It's a huge mistake to confuse the wrapper with what's inside.
So, the huge question this ancient teaching leaves us with is this. In our own lives, right now, today, where are we looking for real value? Do we judge ourselves and other people by the stuff we can see and measure? The job title, the bank account, the number of followers? Or do we have the wisdom to look past all that, to look past the form and recognize the formless value that actually matters? That's a question just as real today as it was 1,500 years ago.